301-869-452 and 1-866-6775.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries. As we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media, this is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. But before we get into our intriguing content today, please join me in welcoming our featured guests. And they're going to try and confuse me today because they switched seats from our monthly norm. Mary Walters, welcome.
Good morning.
Samantha Rawley, welcome.
Good morning.
Glad to have you both with us. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it. Wow, that guy must have thought that it was Monday also.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
Yeah, I guess so. Okay, well, while I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan, a plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And we are going to do a little bit of a different program this morning. I know a lot of people say I'm pretty different, not in a good way, but they say that anyway. But normally at this time of the day, we generally do our things to celebrate for the day. And I'm looking at the list of celebrations, and all I could come up with out of all of the entire list was one thought. Yeah, I mean, you look at this thing and you go, ugh. You know, but maybe I can go back to yesterday. It was National Rum Day. Having beaten anorexia, the day before that, Lemon Meringue Pie Day. Those are pretty decent ones, but today, so we're going to skip it. But one of the things that I do like to do every once in a while, I don't do this very often because it is what it is, but I get a lot of questions from people. They just don't understand real estate, and they go out and they're buying their first home, and they hear all these crazy jargon terms that real estate professionals use. Lenders use them, realtors use them, escrow people use them, title people, if you ever see one, they'll use them as well. But I figured that today maybe we would chat a little bit about some of the industry terms. And I'm not going to go through it. You know, generally you'll notice when we have guests on Ron Siegel Radio, I'll stop them when they go and they use a acronym, CTC, right? There can be 4 different terms for that. LECD, PUD, SFR, right? And you look at it, and if you're not doing this every day, you're looking at yourself, even if you are doing this every day sometimes, you look in the mirror and you say, what the heck are they talking about? And we don't always know what we're talking about, but it sounds good at least. So this morning I thought that we might go through, and I'd work with the ladies here on going through and just doing Real Estate 101. What do some of these terms mean? You know, the other one where almost every real estate transaction starts with an acronym, right? An RPA. Well, what the heck is an RPA? Right? Residential Purchase Agreement. And it's basically, how many books? About 30 pages now? No, it's about 16, 17 pages of legalese that nobody reads it, right? Mary, do you ever have anyone really read it? Maybe a couple engineers, right?
Yeah.
Engineers will read it, and then they ask a question to the realtor, and the realtor says, I don't know, I haven't read that. No. If you've got a good realtor, if they're one of the group that comes on Ron Siegel Radio, they've read them. And one of the nice things is good realtors will actually go over the RPA with you, the Residential Purchase Agreement, before you're buying a house, before you're ready to sell the house, right? When you're going and you're getting into contract with a real estate professional, they're going to talk to you about that residential purchase agreement. That way it's not a shock to you when you get one, right? The idea is if you're listing your house for sale, you want to sell it. You don't really want it to have it as a museum for the next 30, 60, 90 days, right? You're looking to sell your property. So if you've got that document, and by the way, if you have insomnia, the RPA, the Residential Purchase Agreement, will cure insomnia. You read it once. Maybe if you get through the first page, you'll fall asleep. Night 2, you'll fall asleep on the second page. So RPA, that's the first term. I should have put it on my list, but I didn't. Residential Purchase Agreement. Contract date. Okay, so that's an easy one, right? That's the day that everybody has signed the contract, right? So you might sign the contract today, but if the sellers don't sign it for 4 days, the contract doesn't start when you signed it. It starts when the document is what they call, or we call, fully executed. And that's a legal term, and it goes for almost any contract. A fully executed contract means all parties have signed the contract. Now, here's an item that is a little bit confusing. It's one of the legal parts of the residential purchase agreement. If I go and make an offer, so Mary's my agent, and I ask Mary to make an offer for me, and Samantha is representing the buyer, and the buyer counters my offer, the contract that Mary and I wrote is now null and void. There's absolutely there's no validity to it at all. So I can go anywhere I want. Anybody else can come to me because there's now a counter offer. The counter offer supersedes the original offer, and the original offer is now null and void until I decide whether I'm going to sign the counter offer. Once I sign now when the counter offer comes to me, it's already signed. So we know that Samantha's client already has agreed to it because they issued it and they signed for it. Right, so that's the way that works. Just a couple of terms there. So the contract date is when everybody has signed. Close of escrow. Now that's probably the third line on the first page of the residential purchase agreement. It's going to tell you when escrow is going to close, but they trick you. They say 30 days or 35 days or 40 days or 45 days. Right, so now you have to know when the days from when. Right, and you go back up to the prior statement, it's from the contract date. When everybody's fully executed the contract, it is that many days from then. Now, I should have put on here date of possession, but I will next time. Right, so date of possession could be on the close of escrow. So it used to be, what is it? What do you guys see now? It's close of escrow or close plus 3?
I see a mix. And we also see a lot of rent backs too. Right.
Well, now we got a new term. Okay, Mary, you brought it up. You get to explain it.
Okay. At least I see a lot of people at least requesting for rent backs, but I have heard of a lot of rent backs lately. Right. So sometimes when the seller is purchasing a new home or whatnot, or maybe moving out of state and they're, still getting their next place of residence in line, even though escrow has closed, the seller is going to rent back from the buyer the same home.
Okay. So, and as a lender, we don't care as long as it's not more than 60 days. We want the buyer to be in the property within 60 days. Otherwise, we can't call it a primary residence, which I didn't even put that on there. Primary residence means the residence you're going to live in. Okay. Contingencies. That's always a fun term. Contingencies. So we've got a contingency for inspection, appraisal, loan approval, pest report. And I'm going to throw a secret out to you. There are, from what I'm told, and again, I'm not a realtor, I got a license, I'm not qualified to do it. There's about 37 different contingencies in the residential purchase agreement. So a great realtor, they can say, okay, we're going to let you out of we're going to sign off on the loan approval. Okay, so now there's 36 other ways that the realtor can get you out of that contract. Pretty simple. So the contingency dates, those are just the days that the item is supposed to be authorized, removed. I can't hear you shake your head, Mary. Right, so that's the date now. The contract is an active, what they call an active contract. So if you might have a appraisal contingency date, but if no document is signed to remove that contingency, guess what? It's going to continue on. It's not out just because somebody said they want it to be out. Down payment, that's simple. That's the amount of money you're going to put down. But cash to close is not always the same as the down payment. Right? So you can have cash to close. It's not cash. It means it's wiring money to escrow. right? So the down payment is, you say, I want to put 10% down, 20% down, 30% down, got a lot of money, going to put 50% down, right? Then you add the costs, either prepaid interest, prepaid insurance, prepaid taxes, all the other fees that go in, title, escrow, everything else. Add that to the down payment. That becomes your cash to close. Okay, now we go to escrow. Samantha wanted to talk about escrow. We were getting ready this morning. That was what Samantha really wanted to talk about, was escrows. Now I'm just kidding with you. Escrow. So you've got two different ways that people talk about escrow, right? So one of them is a company that does, they're just like a referee. So the escrow officer, they take the contract and they just go through the contract and make sure that it's all done. And they're the independent third-party referee for the contract. That's all an escrow officer is, right? They don't decide that they want this or they don't want that or any of those things. They say, okay, the contract says that we're going to close on this date. Okay, we better close on that date. The contract says that here's the price. Okay, we've got to make sure that that gets done. They're going to referee between the buyer, the seller, all the agents, the title company, the lenders, if there are any, right? So they're the referee that makes sure everything happens, and they're an independent third party, or they're supposed to be an independent third party. Now you can contrast that with, some people say, escrows, which is also similar to an impound. So if you're not paying your taxes directly, you do that through your monthly payment. That would be your taxes and insurance. You can add that to your monthly payment. The loan servicer will keep that money. They'll hold it aside, and they're going to pay that when it's due. So they're going to collect it from you every month, pay it when it's due. So they've got to make sure they've got enough money on all times to make that happen. So we've got through about half of our list of terms today, and we're going to continue that on another day. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, we've got our monthly market report. We're going to talk about that with the ladies this morning. We're going to then also chat a little bit about our featured home of the day. Marcy Thomas gave us that one. And the Mortgage Minute, all that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. On Twitter, @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, shame on you, but the replay is available. Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams, or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Did you know that banks and credit bureaus are rewarded financially if you have bad credit? And the worse your credit score is, the more money they can make off of you? How does that make you feel, knowing that banks are getting rich off of your hard-earned money? How does it make you feel, knowing that if a bank or a credit bureau makes a mistake on your credit report, they benefit from it and it hurts you? The Fair Credit Report Act of 1971 requires banks and credit bureaus to report only accurate information, and nearly 100% of all credit reports are inaccurate. If you're sick and tired of being broke and tired of being robbed by the banks, you owe it to yourself and to your family to call Rondi. Rondi is a FICO certified credit professional and has helped thousands of people just like you get out of debt and establish great credit. Rondi's number is 855-608-1990. Again, that's 855-608-1990. Or visit creditsanitizer.com. Again, that website is creditsanitizer.com.
Are you a veteran, police officer, firefighter, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, you qualify as one of Ron Siegel's VIP heroes, and we have rewards up to $5,000 or $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with one of the Ron Siegel radio partners. As one of the heroes, real estate agents will rebate part of their commission, lending partners will give a credit at closing, the title company has special published rates, and many other service providers have incentives too. All you need to do is call Ron Siegel Radio at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. Just think about what you will do with all the rebates and incentives from the partners of Ron Siegel Radio. Just call us at 800-306-1990 so we can show you our appreciation for your service.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Gold Star Mortgage. When you're ready for that next mortgage, Gold Star has the programs and the products. You just need to make the call again, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Let's see what the markets are doing this morning. Well, the Dow is down 68. Dow never goes down anymore. S&P 500 up, NASDAQ up. But what's going on with the items that we really care about in the mortgage world? The 10-year Treasury, I told you this was going to happen, and, well, I guess I shouldn't say I told you so, but, I might as well. 10-year Treasury is down 4 basis points, and it was up over 0.70. We'd mentioned that it was going to go back down, that it was just testing some levels, doing a little consolidation to come back down. Mortgage-backed securities, they are up 19 basis points right now, which means they've reversed. If you remember last Thursday, I told you that Freddie Mac came out and said that interest rates were up 12 basis points. Still below 3, great number, but now they're up 19 basis points right now, which means interest rates are lower. Why is all that happening? Because you can find any of that information on google.com. So here's the issue that's going on. We've got 2 different conflicting items. The Citigroup Panic Euphoria Index, it's a contrarian index, is approaching an all-time high at 0.91, more than double the 0.41 level where euphoria is entered. When there's a euphoric reading, it shows that everyone is in the market. Historically, a reading in the euphoria levels generates a better than 80% probability of stock prices being lower 1 year later. So watch that one. National Association of Home Builders Housing Market Index, normally released at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, was released early this morning, showing builder confidence for August. Overall index rose from 72 to 78, which matches the record high. So that's an interesting number. All 3 components were higher as well. So the home builders are excited about what's going on in the market. And, something from what I hear, a lot of real estate people are pretty excited about what's going on in the market as well. And that's what we're going to chat about this morning. Here's the issue that we talk about every month is we want to look and see what is the market saying about homes? What is the market saying about people's belief in where the home ownership is going? And we get a report every month, and it goes through in great detail. It's from my friends over at Keeping Current Matters. Steve Harney and his team do a great job. And all we have to do is go through and take a look at this report, and then we get to share what our commentary is on it. Because one of the things about the report is it does things on a national level. And it basically, that doesn't really mean a whole lot to any specific city or county or state. But in some instances, when we have the locals come in, no, I didn't say locos, I said locals come in, and we talk about these issues, we find out what the sentiment is locally. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at some of these items, and I'm sharing them with you. If you are lucky enough to be watching us, ronsiegelradio.tv, any of our socials, or on the KMET AM 1490 video on their ABC video link, we got that on there as well. Here's the first comment or quote that we have on here. This comes from the Wall Street Journal. Quote, "A strong economic recovery depends on effective and sustained containment of the COVID-19. Economists said in the latest monthly survey by the Wall Street Journal, with 91% of business and academic economists agreeing somewhat or strongly that economic recovery depends on containing the pandemic. What do you think? Do you think that is happening now? I can tell you in old people what some of us think. You're younger, and we keep hearing about the young people really don't give two hoots about what's going on with the pandemic. They know it's out there, and they're just going to go about their lives. What do you think?
I think the majority, yes. I think it's still split. I see a lot of, young people still who haven't really even left their house still.
Right.
I mean, I do see it both ways. I mean, look at us. We're the complete opposite. We understand there's a pandemic. We understand that the coronavirus is real. Yet at the same time,
you're out there going to work every day.
Yeah,
you're still at work every day.
I was at the beach yesterday. Like, I haven't stopped my normal life.
Okay, that's good information. So you haven't stopped your normal life because of the pandemic, which is good to know, right? Because there are so many people that are hibernating, and I don't have a problem with somebody hibernating.
No, that's their choice.
Right, there you go. It's their choice.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, if you've got what they call a comorbidity, if you're a high risk individual, you should stay home.
Correct.
Right, but that should probably be with the flu, or you don't go around somebody that's sneezing all the time in December if you've got a low immune system. Right. Bottom line there.
We're still safe. Don't get us wrong. Like, we'll wear our masks.
Wear a mask. We still
like
do social distancing.
But we don't want that coronavirus to stop us from.
It's not going to stop you from living.
No.
Okay, good. United States total spending by all consumers as compared to January 1st, 2020. Now, I'm a big helper on part of these, because the one item that's up on this chart that we're looking at, that we're sharing with you, is groceries. I've got the COVID 20 or 25, maybe 30, something along those lines. Right, so I've been helping on. I wonder where they put alcohol. Is that part of groceries?
I would think
it has to be.
Okay.
That's where the spike is in May.
Yeah.
We're all just done after 2 months. We just drink.
Okay, there we go. Apparel's come back nicely, not all the way. Healthcare is coming back. Restaurants, you got a feel for the restaurants. I was at a hotel this past weekend. It was packed. Arts and entertainment is still down. Transportation. What do you guys say? I'm not getting on a plane anytime soon.
We are
in a couple weeks.
Okay. So you guys are traveling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, have you looked at the airline or wherever you're going? Are they to make sure that they're doing anything special, or is it
I
just
honestly haven't. I haven't. No.
got somewhere to go? You're going.
We're just we'll wear our masks. We'll social distance.
We'll do what they tell us.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we're still gonna go.
Okay. Cool.
I'm not afraid to travel.
No.
Interesting. Okay. I never liked traveling too much anyway, after I was doing it for 30 weeks a year.
That's fair.
When you're on a plane, over half the time, you're not too excited about it later on. Second quarter forecasts. So we gave this one in April. The average was for GDP down 30.8%, largest in history. And now we're looking at the forecast going forward, and we're saying, okay, a lot of the forecasters are saying the third quarter up 25%, up 20. Goldman Sachs is up 25%, JP Morgan up 25, Wells Fargo 18, Bank of America up 15. A couple groups decided that they were going to pull their forecasts out and let anybody know about them. It's easy to give a forecast after the fact, right? So the New York Fed came out, and now they said that it's going to be up 16.8%. Moody's says 16.7%. So the question here for our millennial duo, are you seeing people spending more? Did you stop spending in the early part of the pandemic?
Yes.
Honestly, I probably spent more with my online shopping.
Okay. You helped on Amazon.
I just kind of stopped, but then I was like, all right, now new normal, we're all going to buy online now. But yes.
Just a new way. So you stopped a little bit, Samantha, and then you went back to it after you realized that the world wasn't ending.
Yes. Yeah, true. Plus, you can't do returns in the very beginning. So I was like, oh.
You couldn't?
No.
Because all the stores were closed.
Yeah. Okay.
Obviously, come on.
Okay, I got it.
That's what we're talking about. Makeup and clothes, right?
Yeah, makeup and clothes. I still have the shiny forehead. What am I talking about? Makeup and clothes. Okay, so you're back to norm. friends? Are they in the same way as you guys? Or are you, or are you the anomalies?
I think it depends on every situation. Because for us, we've been essential technically the whole time.
Right.
Well, I mean, besides those first 2 weeks where they're like, we don't know what to do with real estate.
Okay.
So we've been essential the whole time. So we've been working the whole time. I think for people who have been laid off and furloughed and whatnot, those are the ones who are really shutting down and cracking down on their spending.
So what are you finding with your friends? Are they working? They not working? Are they most of them turned essential? What's the thought?
Most of my friends are
all
working.
my friends are essential. They're all either in real estate or like nursing.
Okay.
Yeah, not for me. I have friends that are business owners, and then people that are not essential considered, but they're not. Some are working and some are not.
So tell me about the non-essentials. What is their mindset right now when you talk to them? Are they scared? Are they worried about the future? Are they just living day by day? Are they thrilled that they're not working because they were getting that extra $600?
Yes. So the non-essentials that are on employment, like they are worried. They're worried about what's going to happen after all of this. What's going to be the new normal. And the ones that are still working but are considered non-essential that cannot go in the offices, they're worried as well. It's like, how is this all going to play out in the future?
That's an interesting concept right there that we haven't even talked about. The non-essentials that just aren't going to the office. That's an interesting part of it as well. We're going to continue our conversation with Mary Walters, Samantha Rawley. We're talking about the monthly market report for the real estate and economic world. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, I know we've got a report in here somewhere to talk about real estate and what's going on in the market, the beginning of the economic recovery, and the featured home. All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990 or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel, and if you missed any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Siegel Lending Team offers you buying power. Let's say you can afford a monthly mortgage payment, including principal and interest, of around $1,900. With today's rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage of 3.75%, APR 3.85%, that payment could support a $416,000 mortgage. But if you wait and rates tick up to around 6.5%, which is roughly the average home mortgage rate over the past 30 years, that same $1,900 mortgage payment, including principal and interest, may only be able to support a $314,000 mortgage. That's over $100,000 worth of home you're missing out on by waiting. That's buying power. All you need to do to get started is reach out to the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Payment example excludes taxes and insurance. Call us for full details. 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 or SiegelLendingTeam.com. Equal housing lender. Licensed under NMLS number 217037.
Are you purchasing or own a luxury home? If you're like so many others, your home is your largest asset and the mortgage is your largest debt. The Siegel Lending Team has some amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million, 30-year rates below 4%, 15-year rates near 3.5%, and if you can believe it, 7-year interest-only hybrids in low 3s. The Siegel Lending Team has all the options for your jumbo or second home loan requirements. Take advantage of them while you can. To learn more about all the other financing products available from the Siegel Lending Team, call 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Again, call 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender.
Homeowners that are 62 and older are about to find out a great way to live a better retirement. It's called a reverse mortgage, and SLT can help you learn more. Call the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990 right now to receive your free booklet with no obligation. It answers questions like how a reverse mortgage works, how much you qualify for, the ways to receive your money, and more. When you call the experts at Siegel Lending Team today, you'll learn the benefits of a government-insured reverse first mortgage, how it will eliminate your monthly mortgage payments, and give you tax-free cash from the equity in your home. Here's the best part. You still own your home. Now is the best time to take control of your retirement. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 to get your free brochure. Call today or visit our website at SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com, or simply call 800-306-1990.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, the real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text SLT Home Digest, SLT Home Digest to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. The beginning of an economic recovery. The news these days seems to have a mix of highs and lows. We may hear that an economic recovery is starting, but we've also seen some of the worst economic data in the history of our country. Challenge today is to understand exactly what's going on and what it means relative to the road ahead. We've talked before about what experts expect in the second half of this year. Today, that progress largely hinges upon the continued course of the virus. Recent Wall Street Journal survey of economists noted a strong economic recovery depends on effective and sustained containment of COVID-19. Given the uncertainty around the virus, we can also see what economists are forecasting for GDP in the third quarter of this year, and I've got that graph on the chart on the screen right now. Leading economists. Do you know that most economists just get everything wrong? So, I mean, when you say leading economists, that means that they're a little bit better than a baseball player. 30% means you're in the game, right? Goldman Sachs, they say the economy is going to grow 25%. JP Morgan, 25%. Bank of America, they're in the lowest of all of them. They're saying 15% growth. Overwhelmingly, economists are projecting GDP growth in the third quarter of 2020, with 5 of 9 experts indicating over 20% growth. Lisa Shallett, Chief Investment Officer for Morgan Stanley, puts it this way, quote, "Indeed, the worst ever GDP reading could be followed by the best ever growth in the third quarter. As we look forward, we can expect consumer spending to improve as well. According to Opportunity Insights, as of August 1st, consumer spending was down just 7.8% as compared to January 1 of this year. Bottom line, an economic recovery is beginning to happen throughout the country. While there are still questions that need to be answered about the road ahead, we can expect to see improvement this quarter." Now, one of the numbers that nobody wants to talk about, and I'm just going to share this with you because it's my show and I can, right? When numbers go down as far as they went down during the pandemic, the numbers going back up the other way can be and generally are misleading, right? So if you just think about this, if you have $1 and you lose 75% of it, right? Now you've got a quarter. Now, if that grows by 100%, right, you're at 50 cents, you're still down 50%. But people can say, well, wow, we had a great quarter. We were up 50%. We've never been up 50%. It's just the way the math works. So just remember that part of it when you're listening to some of these numbers that you hear from the economists. That's the real-time real estate segment, again, brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text SLT Home Digest to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. Back to our conversation this morning. We've been chatting a little bit about the market report. We get one of these every month. I am chatting with Mary Walters and Samantha Rawley from Realty Pro 100. I'd like to get their perspective because, you know, when you're old like I am, you end up talking to other old people, and we only understand certain things, and you can talk to some of the younger folk, and they've got a different perspective because they're just looking at it from a different way. And we hear on the news what some of the comments that come out about what the young people are doing. They're all out at the beach. They're all going to the bars. I don't know how they go into the bars, although some of them may have blacked out windows. I don't know. I wouldn't say that. But, you know, you hear that. What was it? Some of the pictures that we saw from Miami, right? It's not really the truth. I mean, it's just what the media says. Don't believe the media. I know I'm part of it, but don't believe them. But let's get back to our conversation here. We've got Morgan Stanley Chief Investment Officer. Quote, indeed, the worst ever GDP reading could be followed by the best ever growth in the third quarter. Does anybody care? Right, when you're thinking about real estate, when you're thinking about going wherever you're going, do people really look at that stuff?
Honestly, I don't think I even started looking at it until I started coming on the show.
Right.
Okay, that tells us what the younger segment looks at with this. Okay, and you're not hearing about that part. Your friends, when they're thinking about buying a house, getting married,
no,
they couldn't care less.
Nope.
And something that's one of the things, and you two probably have more of a challenge than most of your friends, because you're in this industry and we look at things from a different paradigm and we think, well, isn't everybody looking at housing?
Right. I always think that.
Yeah.
So, and it's really, your friends aren't really thinking about it 24/7, are they?
No.
Yeah, and there's still people sitting there saying like they're waiting for the bubble to burst.
I know.
I was like, how do you not see it? How do you not see it? I'm like, well, you're not in it. You're in like healthcare.
It's so frustrating.
You're in real estate every single day.
Yeah.
Well, in your age group, you've dealt with two of the biggest economic challenges we've had in our country's history.
Right.
Right? You dealt with the Great Recession, and so your basis. Were either of you around for the .com bubble? Year 2000. You're probably too young to really remember much of it.
Yeah, I was too young to remember. I was only 8.
Okay, so it wasn't a part of your world. So the only things that your point of reference is when the economy turns south, real estate goes south. Mm-hmm. Right. So that's
all the youngins.
Yeah.
Right.
All the youngins.
Okay. You don't have to put us that old. I mean, I know I don't have any hair left, but that's. Okay, so here's just a couple of quotes. An astounding rebound from Realtor.com, shockingly strong from Housing Wire. Pulled something of a high wire act in the second quarter, Adam Data Solutions. Stared the pandemic right in the eye and hasn't blinked, according to Zillow. Now, you can't go by Zillow because they generally don't get anything right. Has been nothing short of remarkable. You can tell Zillow's not a sponsor, right? That's just how we go with this stuff here. Realtor.com, despite the crippling and ongoing coronavirus pandemic, millions out of work, a recession, a national reckoning over systemic racism, and a highly contentious presidential election just around the corner, the residential real estate market is staging an astonishing rebound. Are you now, do any of those things come into play with your peers? As far as the pandemic, we certainly know you do, right? Mm-hmm. Are your peers really out there worried about the systemic racism?
I can answer that one.
Tough question here.
Yeah. I don't. What did journalists say? I choose not to speak on this subject.
There you go. Okay. So, a highly contentious presidential election. Now, most young people don't even. I mean, when you listen to some of the folks that go out there, most young people don't know who the vice president is right now. Mm-hmm. Right. So it's not even an issue that until Labor Day, most people don't even think about a presidential election.
Right.
Have you guys even thought about it? I'm not going to get into the presidential politics or any of that, but have you started looking at any of the issues?
Well, I mean, it's almost hard not to think about when it's staring you in the face every day on Facebook and Twitter and everything.
Okay.
And it's only going to get worse from here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
But to answer that, like to people diving deep into the issues, no, I don't think people do that. I think it's very superficial.
Superficial?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So now we'll get into the Prop 15 in a deep way in the next couple of months. And that one's just because it's going to affect all of you. That's the one where they want to start raising property taxes and abolishing Prop 13 from my days. Okay, I get it. Okay. So, but we'll get into that one. You'll probably be dealing with that more, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'll be in there. Showings in North America. We're looking at the weekly showings normalized of the first calendar week of January. 7-day moving average. It looks like people are starting to go out and see property more and more. Although it looks like the last week of July came down just a little bit. Did you see anything slowing at all?
No, not on our listings that we've had.
No.
Yeah,
Everything's-
the activity in the market, it's, again, multiple showings, multiple offers in the first weekend.
Yeah.
Multiple showings, multiple offers first weekend. So that's
And over asking price offers.
Mhm.
A ton of them.
over ask. Explain that a little bit, because we're just simple people.
True. So,
Well, I guess I got that one.
So, like, for example, someone listed a house for $375, multiple offers. They're now in escrow for $410.
Okay, so people are out there. So don't go thinking just because there's a pandemic and systemic racism, sure, that people are going to be out there talking about this whole concept. It's not really going on in that, and it's not going to get you the bargain that you thought you might have seen in 2009, 2010, 2011. Right, that's not what's going on in the marketplace right now. Whether in terms of pending contract activity, actually, I guess I better hold this one. Zellman's Broker Survey. We're going to talk about the Ivy Zellman does a great service every month, one of the best. We'll talk about her commentary on the market when we come back. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. We're going to also chat about our featured home. Marcy Thomas sent that in to us. I'm going to tell you about it when we come back. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. You can reach me anytime or off air, number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Connect with us, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. And if you missed any part of our broadcast, shame on you. But the replay is available, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Most businesses struggle to get the online reviews they need to get a competitive edge over their competition. Rex is a brand new technology that uses text messages to direct happy clients to your online review sites, Zillow, Google, Facebook, and Yelp, and unhappy clients to a private survey, so businesses can win more customers. Try Rex today by going to www.meetrex.com.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed-rate loan below 4.25% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $295,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,400 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Do you have a goal of mortgage-free home ownership? What if your home was valued at $500,000? Are you aware that a free and clear home could be costing you $2,500 every month, $30,000 per year? The mortgage planners at the Siegel Lending Team would like to show you how you can own your home, generate tax-free income, and accumulate family wealth. You simply need to call the Ron Siegel team at 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990. By sending the team a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, the team will send you a no-obligation real estate plan. You be the judge if this is right for your family. Again, all you have to do is send the team a copy of your mortgage statement by email to reap@ronsiegelradio.com or call today. Ron Siegel, 1-800-306-1990. That is 1-800-306-1990.
Rate subject to change and without notice. Licensed by the California DOC and BRE NMLS 217037 and 145502 and Cal BRE 01869452 and 1866775.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The featured home today being brought to you by our friends at Gold Star Mortgage. Hey, check this out, mysocallender.com, mysocallender.com. It's got everything you possibly need for buying a house. It's got all the listings available. You can pick them out that you want, and it's got pricing available. It's got interest available. But hey, let's look at this house, 413 Edenton Avenue in Fullerton. As I mentioned to you, it's brought to you by Marcy Thomas. And I'll just give you the little details. 3 bedrooms, 2 remodeled bathrooms, hardwood flooring throughout, stunning stack stone fireplace, easy for me to say. Stunning stack stone fireplace in the living room, remodeled kitchen with farm-style sink and white cabinets, adorable backyard with covered patio and nice landscaping. Close to the freeways, shopping, and my favorite, it's right near dining. Hey, let's take a look at it. $639,000 is the price. Looks like no homeowners association. That's a nice issue right there. If you're going to put down 10%, you're looking at about $3,400 a month in a payment. 20% down, you're looking at about $2,957 in a payment. On that 15-year loan, $3,934 in a payment. I've got right there on the screen for you all of the APRs, the interest rates, and just for those compliance people that want to see it, I do have NMLS ID 217037. It's right there for you. Not that I like showing that, but the compliance guys say that I have to. That's just the issue. That's the featured home brought to you by Gold Star Mortgage. Again, mysocallender.com. They've got all the information there for you. Back to our conversation with Mary Walters, Samantha Rawley, Realty Pro 100. We're chatting about the monthly mortgage report, monthly market report. And this came from Ivy Zellman, Zellman's broker survey. And Ivy Zellman is one of the foremost authorities in real estate. She does a great job of forecasting and giving people great information on the real estate market. Her quote, whether in terms of pending contract activity or proprietary buyer demand ratings, the various measures of demand captured in this month's survey can only be described as shockingly strong in spite of the resurgence must be in COVID-19 cases. That's from Ivy Zellman. So did you ladies feel in your dealing with the market that it was going to come back this quick, or that we would really, I shouldn't say come back, because it really never subsided too much, did it? Maybe a week or two?
Yeah, no, I think slowings maybe showed down a little bit, and the offers were slower to come in, but things still flew off the shelf even while the pandemic was going on. We were all shut down. Yeah. Every listing we had almost was flying off the shelf still. Right. I think it just meant a little less competition for the buyers that were already out there. So
would you say it's fair, each year when we get into late October, early November, my commentary is that only serious people are selling and serious people are buying. Mm-hmm. You don't have the tire kickers out there. You don't have the looky-loos out there. They've got better things to do. Right. Are you still seeing that type of thing right now? The people that are out there buying, they're not just going out there for fun. They're going out and they're going to make an offer?
Mm-hmm. Yes. That's more serious buyers, yes.
Okay. I got one right today. There you go. Housing Market Recovery Index combines 4 components: demand, supply, price, time on the market. February 1st, we had the baseline of 100. We went down to 83.1 the middle of April, which is kind of what we were just talking about, right? And now we're back up at 103.7. So market is really, it's a strong market out there is what this report is really telling us. Is that what you're seeing?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the people, and our friend Linda Eisenman shared with us that she's seeing, and Linda's seen a lot of different markets. Incredible, her comment here, and I'm going to put it right up on the screen because I can. Seeing incredible demand in our local residential market, multiple offers on everything. Demand reminds me of 78, 88, 98. Now, our millennials don't remember any of those. I'm sure rate-driven market in many ways. Yeah, interest rates are tremendous right now, right? You guys can remember that part.
Yes.
Right? It's and all cash. Are you getting all cash offers also?
To be honest,
I haven't seen a lot come up.
Okay.
Desk, no.
Okay, so Linda's got that comment in here also that she's seeing a lot of all cash offers. And yeah, Linda's a great agent in North Orange County. Very, very I call her a well-seasoned agent. So she doesn't get mad at me when I say that. No, she's a friend of mine. So good information. Thanks for sharing that, Linda. Let's go back to our monthly market report. Quote, the pandemic has not stopped the consistent home price growth we have witnessed in recent years. That's from Quicken Loans. How's it going up? You're not seeing price decreases or depreciation, are you?
No, not with those multiple offers and everything being bid up.
See, there's a good example and a good comment that Mary just made is multiple offers bids the price up. So way back when I started in real estate in the early 80s, the concept was list high so you can negotiate down. Do you still see that? That's good.
Yeah, no, we have the completely different mindset. You list right below market so you can bid it up over market.
List it low, just below market, and
just
bid
a
it
little
up.
bit below.
Yeah, so you get all the attention drawn to it.
Yes.
And then it gets bid up.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit of a difference, or maybe a lot of a difference in today's market as well. Back in the 80s, the only place you could see a property is from the agents who had access to the property. Now you don't need an agent to see a property at all, do you?
Nope.
If the agent's doing their job right, they've got great pictures online. And the agent's job is really from contract to close. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, large range of projections on future home prices. Now, CoreLogic, I don't know, they must have been smoking something funny when they came out with their report way back when, because they were one of the only ones that I had seen that came out and said that property values were going to drop about 6%. And I don't know where they got that from, but I think that's crazy. But they're a big company dealing with this. So no logic there.
No.
Okay. Fannie Mae says 4.4, National Association of Realtors 4.3, MBA 4%, Zelman 3%, Reuters 3%, Freddie Mac 3%, Zillow. Well, they don't even know.
I love that.
They're just still confused.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you, whenever you look at a Z report or a Z estimate, I guess is what they call it. Zestimate, right? Now, the Jim Doty law, okay, if you don't know Jim Doty, he's a great economist over at Chapman University. The Doty law is anytime somebody says that they're within 40%, an economist says they're within 40%, or they've got a 40% reliability of their numbers, that means they don't know what the hell they're talking about. And I'll just throw this out there. Zillow's estimate is about 40% accurate. Whatever you want to take from that, feel free. Again, they are not a sponsor. They will not be a sponsor. Last month's, whoops, I just went too fast. Last month's, come on.
Do you want me to read it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Last month's forecast of a 6.6 home price decline through May 2021 has been revised as projected. Unemployment rates through 2020 showed improvement. The recent rebound of home sales suggests the pandemic did not derail home buyers, who continue to be motivated by historically low mortgage rates. This, coupled with declining supply of homes for sale, could shield home price growth from the impacts of the current economic uncertainty. As a result, the latest forecast reports home prices will decline a moderate 1% between June 2020 and June 2021. That's from CoreLogic.
And none of us agree with that one, right?
Nope.
Price is not going to. Now, maybe in Toledo, Ohio. Not to say anything bad about Toledo, Ohio, but maybe in Toledo, Ohio, prices might drop. But Southern California, I can't see prices dropping at all.
Nope.
No.
Yeah, I think they're a little bit wet on that one, but we'll continue. Let's go. Summer home buying season off to a roaring start as buyers flooded into the market. Realtor.com monthly traffic hit an all-time high, 86 million unique users in June 2020, breaking May's record of 85 million unique users. That goes back to what we were just talking about a couple seconds ago, was people can go on to Realtor.com. They can go on to any number of sites. Yes, mysocallender.com. They've got all of them there, right? And get the pictures of any property they want to.
Yep. Right.
But so the we just have a few seconds left, but give me an idea. What is the most important thing that you say that a realtor needs to be providing to the consumer, being that they don't have to show them property?
I would say great pictures and a virtual tour, if that's what you're
looking
towards.
So they need the great pictures, virtual tours to get that on their internet program.
Right.
Oh, as a selling agent?
Yeah.
Yes.
So make sure if you're hiring, you don't want the iPhone picture in the corner.
Please don't do that.
We look at those and we're like, well, no wonder it's been sitting on the market.
Yeah.
Because nobody's drawn to it because these pictures are horrible and they look like a hoarder.
Yeah.
Yeah, big issue. So that's where you're getting that professional guidance. If you're gonna hire a real estate professional, do me a favor, listen to them, right? And if they're not telling you if they're not showing them great professional pictures, professional flyers, right? If they're just giving a typed sheet that has no pictures on it, right? I can't read. Right, so I can read the pictures. Okay.
Like, if you don't look at your house and say, "Oh, I want to buy that house,"
X-nay.
Yeah,
that's not my house.
Great, yeah, absolutely. Great information as always. We have set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to John and Sean who are engineering us today, and of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your time with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.